Do you think as a squad you're in a better place than you were, say, 2 weeks ago? You've had 2 weeks without a midweek game, so you've had a couple of weeks of full-on training, I thought, haven't you?
Yeah, we've had good work. We've had good work on the training pitch. So I've just been saying that. So that's been a positive of the 2 weeks. It's our first 2 weeks that we've been able to work through the week at a really physical level, which is important if you want to improve as a team.
Just on, I know you've spoken about the new protocols, but I mean, if we're being realistic, how difficult is it to say to a player, if you score a goal, say in the 90th minute, you win a game, you can't celebrate? I mean, it's instinct, it's natural instinct, isn't it? And I suppose you've got to be careful that people aren't going to get booked for celebrating if that happens.
Yeah, I mean, I think if people can get booked, which means they could probably get sent off if it was a second yellow card, I think it's going to be very difficult to police with keeping the energy and the excitement that football brings. I think that's pretty clear. The players will try and let's see how it works. The players have been asked now to maybe not show natural instinct in the game. Let's see how it works.
ITV News.
Yes, hello, it's Juliet Bremner here from ITV News. Can I just ask you, Frank, you said that it's instinct to celebrate after you scored a goal, but many people might think this is arrogant because so many of us are having to do things that we wouldn't normally do. What do you feel about the fact that others feel that football players really should lead the way and show an example?
Yeah, I think, just to be clear on that, footballers are doing everything that everyone else is being asked to do as well. Some people are being asked to work from home, footballers aren't. So they're being taken themselves into an environment where they're potentially maybe putting themselves in danger, but maybe the family they go home to, a pregnant wife, a grandparent, a parent, a brother, a sister as well. So I think we have to understand that footballers are human as well, and they're being asked to go and do their job in this moment. So I think that's one thing. And I think if you understand football and understand the passion and the instinct which every fan has, every person in the street has for football, if they love football, they understand that it can bring out emotions in you. So to control the emotions, I think, is a fair ask, but to dictate emotions, I think, will probably be very difficult on pitch. I just said before, I think we should see how this goes, because I think as it goes along, we'll see if players can control it. I hope they can, but this game, this beautiful game that we all love, does bring emotions out on the pitch. But what I want to be really clear about is that players are being asked to come to work and are doing everything they can to toe the line, as is every, hopefully, person in the public to toe the line to get us through this.
Last two, Liam and then Nick Pure.
Hi, Frank.
Hi, Liam.
I wanted to ask you about Timo Werner. What have you made of his performances through the middle versus when he's maybe starting from a wider position, and how does that change the way that your team's attack kind of operates?
Well, I think with Timo through the middle, it's clearly an area of the pitch that he likes to start from. I think in Leipzig and for Germany, he's played centrally. He's played on the left. He's played as a lone striker. He's played one of two strikers. So I see that there's definitely room for his manoeuvre in terms of how you can use Timo. I think when he plays centrally, we are, and I think do, and I certainly do as a manager, pride ourselves on being a good, hard-working team off the ball, which means sometimes a lot of high pressure. And I think it's very normal that for Timo and others that have come into this team in forward areas for us, will take some time to get used to what my idea is, what their teammates' idea is, because we haven't had working time on the pitch. There's no doubt about that. We've missed. That can only be done at full pace in training to really work on the high press, and that's why these 2 weeks have been useful. So I think his performances have been pretty good. I think they're going to get better, and I think as the more he works with his teammates, gets used to this Premier League, because I think it's going slightly unspoken about the fact that a lot of players that come into this league, a club like Chelsea where there's a lot of competition for places, other players are given time to come in the team, come out of the team, fill the way. Players that have come into the Liverpool team over recent years been given time in those early stages to feel how the team plays. Clearly with Timo, we didn't have that opportunity because of some injuries in certain positions in our team, because we brought Timo and others to make an impact in our first team straight away. So everybody has to be patient with the idea that we will get the maximum. We will maximise Timo's talents in this team, and that's a two-way street of his work and our work as a group, and it will happen. But of course, it can take time.
Last question in this section, Nick Pure.
Hi, Frank. I know you said obviously Fakir could potentially go out on loan. does he have a long-term future at the club, and is Kurt Zuma a good example for him to follow on that, of someone who's gone out on a couple of loans and perhaps been rewarded for his patience and hard work?
Yeah, he absolutely has a long-term future at this club. We'll see if and when he goes on loan, but from the moment I've got close to Fikayo was when I took him to Derby with me, and he was Player of the Year at Derby and one of the best players in the Championship that year in my opinion, and came back and played 20 plus games for us at a very young age last year and got in the England squad. There's an absolute long plan for Fikayo in my head about his career here, and if it's to go and play games, it will be to absolutely enhance his personal development, hopefully help whatever team he goes to, because that will come hand in hand and come back to us a better player.
Okay, that's the end of the broadcast section.